There we go. This is this is Trish Robichaud here from msrelief.com, and Linda Grace Cox, my partner, is here, and we are thrilled to be hosting Christine Albright again this month, our spiritual healer here at MS Relief. Just a little introduction. Christine wholeheartedly believes that the body is designed to heal itself. She's founder of the Multiple Sclerosis Alternative Healing and Wholeness Center. She's a certified energetic, spiritual, and intuitive healer, and she specializes in the treatment of MS. She was diagnosed in 1990 and reports to have completely healed herself, the MS, over the course of 4 years, and she's now been symptom-free for 20 years. Very inspiring. Founding the MS Alternative Healing Center in 2002 with the intention of teaching and supporting people with MS and other illnesses and injuries, she helps her clients innately discover their own healing process. Welcome, Christine. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, and welcome, everyone. I'm so delighted that you're all here to listen to this. Hi, Carla. Thank you for coming into the group. We're going to have like question and answer at the end of the group, and that's when people can talk, and I would love for it to be very interactive and people really putting out there anything they want to say or any questions that they have. So we'll do that a little bit later after I've said what I need to say and people have something to chew on. Okay?
And Christine, if you don't mind my interjecting here, I just want everybody to know that we are recording. So no need to take notes or anything like that. When the audio is available for playback, we will send you an email, okay? And for those of you who have background noise going on around you, television, telephones, animals, children, *6 is all you need to do for us is to mute yourself, a *6, and then when you want to, if you want to say something, *6 again. But as Christine said, she prefers that we leave questions to the end. And you let us know when you're ready.
Okay. And if you have questions, feel free to write them down because as we go through the talk and I'm giving you a lot of information, you might forget them. So just kind of jot that down if you do have a pencil and paper there, your questions, so that you can ask them when we get to that portion. So I would like to start everybody out in a healing energy to start this whole talk so that you can hear it from a healing space. So just allowing yourself to relax. Like just give yourself permission to relax and let go of the day, let go of any stress or tension that you might have in your system. Taking a deep breath, and on the exhale, just kind of sinking down inside yourself, relaxing, just allowing everything to open up and expand naturally and easily. It's not forcing anything. There's no right or wrong or good or bad in this process, just giving yourself a chance to relax and let the day go. Feeling your body. Just say yes to whatever you feel. Could be anything. Just letting yourself relax. And gently bringing your awareness into your heart, out of your head, out of the intellect, out of all the many, many, many thoughts that we have all day long, and just gently bringing your awareness softly into your heart. And if it helps, you can put your hand on your heart. This is the deep heart, deeper than the physical heart. It's the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, energetic layers that we always work on for healing. It's not just the physical layer. Just feeling your heart, saying yes to whatever comes up. If it's nothing, that's okay too. Nothing is something. Allowing your back to relax. Somebody has a very tight back. I can feel it. Just allow your back to relax, your neck to relax, just gently tilting your head from side to side, very gently releasing any tension in your neck, forward and back. So our talk today is called Love Your MS into Healing. And a lot of my clients are like, oh my gosh, love my MS. I hate my MS. How can I love it? And that's a pretty common feeling with a lot of people, and I think I had that when I was diagnosed as well. So just allowing yourself to relax into love, and knowing that love and God are the highest healing energies that exist. You know, when you care about somebody, maybe a child or a spouse or family member, and they are sick or hurt, your automatic response is to give them love and care. So why wouldn't you give yourself love and care instead of hating it and fearing it and fighting it and trying to get rid of it? And I know it's a scary thing, MS is, but this is a new way of holding it or embracing it rather than trying to push it away, which is what our ego wants to do and our mind wants to do, is get rid of it because it's scary, so we want to get rid of it. But really the way through healing is to embrace it and to love it and bring it that energy that you would bring anybody that you love. You would bring them healing, caring, loving energy, but you're going to do that for yourself. And just kind of feel that. Just loving your body. It doesn't want to be sick. It's not your body's fault that it's sick. It's not your fault that you're sick. There's a reason for it, and any illness or injury is a way that the body is talking to you. And the way that it talks to you, unfortunately, is to make you miserable. Okay, we have a echo going on here. I'm not sure. Can you guys hear the echo?
Yes.
Trish, do you hear the echo?
Can I say something? This is Carla.
Yes?
Yes. Everything that you're saying is actually really to the point of everything, almost my exact approach on a daily basis. And it's actually shocking to me that you're saying all of these things. But the way I worded it is, it's my partner. I can't hate anything that's part of my body. It's part of who I am. So I have to work with this. I can't hate it because it's part of who I am. But I liked your wording too. But I've always felt that way, that I can't hate something that's part of who I am, and I have to live with it every day and will live with it for the rest of my life. So I have to embrace it. And it's my partner.
Right. Yeah, that's a good approach. That's a good way to look at it. It's befriending the illness and your body while it's sick in order to heal it. So, yes, that's exactly right. Thank you for your input there.
You're welcome.
So,
thanks for listening.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you a little information about how I healed myself of MS and why I knew that I needed to love the MS rather than hate it and fear it and fight it and struggle with it all the time. And when I was diagnosed with MS, I knew that I was capable of healing it. I don't know why I knew it. I just knew it. And I knew that what the doctors was telling me, that it's incurable and there's only these drugs to take, and that 20 years ago were horrible drugs, and that I needed to listen to my body. And the only way I knew to do that was to surrender it to God, because God and love are the highest healing energies that exist, like I said. And when I surrendered it to God, and it's like surrendering it to God is like scooping the whole thing up, and this is how it felt to me, because I had no idea what I was doing. I was not a healer then. And just kind of scooping everything up, and the fear and the anxiety and the disease and the symptoms and everything about it, just kind of scooping it up and handing it all over to God. And I said, here, God, I give this to you to do whatever you want to do with it. I hope that you'll help me heal, but I'm just surrendering it to you. And the surrender of the illness to God is a huge step, because you just let it go. You let go of controlling it or figuring it out or analyzing it or being in your head with it, and just let it go to God. I mean, it doesn't get any better than God, right? So I just let it go to God, and immediately I started getting information coming in, and the main thing I got was to love the MS. And I thought, oh, love the MS. I thought that was a strange concept at the time, but it felt really good. It felt like, well, yeah, of course, love the MS for the reasons that I have already said. It's like, if you want anything to heal, we innately know to love it instead of the opposite. And as soon as I started loving it and I said yes to it, immediately I started feeling better. I could feel my body, like the energy open, and I didn't know anything about energy at that time either, but I could just feel everything lighten up and start to flow through my system, which is the healing energy that's naturally sitting there all the time, trying to flow through your body and your being so that it can heal, do what it's supposed to do to heal. And so it was just an amazing thing. And then as time went on, I kept getting these insights and awarenesses about what I needed to do to heal, like listening to the body. And I gave a talk about that last month, about how to listen to the body, because it's always talking to you. And when you learn to listen to the body, it'll tell you exactly what it needs for you to do to heal. But really connecting to the love that is in your system, and love is all around, it's all around you all the time. It's in the particles of the air. There's no lack of love, and it doesn't have to be with another person, because love is within all of us all the time, and it's all around us all the time. And when I was healing myself, I used to just call in love, and because I could feel it around me. And when I did that, again, the energy shifted into a healing energy, and it started healing the MS, because your body is trying so hard to heal the MS and trying to give you the information that you need to heal it, and why the MS is in your life and in your being and in your body, because it's there for a reason. It's not just there to annoy you. So every time we're sick or we're injured or anything in life happens that's a struggle or a challenge, it's always there for a reason, including MS. So just really learn to listen to it and bringing the love in, that high-frequency healing energy, and it feels so good when you do that, and loving everything with it, the fear, the uncertainty, everything, and say yes to this divine energy that comes into you. When you say yes, it opens the energy. When you say no, it closes and contracts the energy. And again, I talked about this the last talk we had last month. So just learning how to really embrace love and embrace the healing energy that naturally flows through all of us. And it's kind of the way the universe works, whether it's an illness or an injury or a divorce or anything that happens in life. It's always trying to heal itself. It's always trying to bring itself back into alignment and balance, because that's its natural state of health and wellness. So it's always trying to bring you back to that state. So connect to your source through God, and that's whatever God is to you. We all have our own sense of God, and if it's a religion, that's fine. If it's a spiritual path, that's fine. If it's just a feeling, whatever it is to you, really allow yourself to connect to that source of what you believe is true for God, because it's such a healing process. And make a practice out of it. And I work with my clients on this all the time, and giving them practices to do consistently, because that consistency is necessary for healing. Like anything else you want to do, this is kind of the oh gosh, I just lost the word. The Olympics. This is like the Olympics. Like you have to, when you're trying to heal the MS, you can't just stick your toe in the water. Well, you can do anything you want, but if you want to heal, it's really about making a commitment to your own healing process and learning what your body needs for you to do to heal. And if you're in the loving energy, the high-frequency healing energy, and the God energy, it just moves you right into where you need to be. And I work with people all the time on that in my healing sessions. So I suggest people, if you can, sign up for a healing session and make it a consistent process if you're really serious about healing. And listen to yourself. Trust yourself as well, because your body's talking to you all the time. So it's never not talking to you. It's just learning how to listen to it and trust it and experiment with it. I used to experiment all the time. It's like, well, what happens if I think my body's telling me to eat this, but I've never ate that before, and I'm not sure if I should eat it? Well, then just eat a little piece of it and see what happens. And you'll either feel better, which is a yes, or you'll not feel better, and that's a no. So just experimenting with it and trusting yourself to listen to your body and what it's trying to tell you to do to heal. So is there any questions or anything anybody has to say? I kind of would like to make this interactive and have people interact with this whole thing because it brings up maybe thoughts or questions or things that you might want to say, like you just did, Carla, and just let yourself talk to the group as well, and let yourself share what you've been through and any interactions or processes that you found in your own healing process. So would anybody like to interject anything? Or have a question?
It's Carla again. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead, Carla.
It's very strange to me in regards to this whole thing because everything that you talked about is exactly what I'm going through in my life right now with God and love, except I never actually said I love my MS. I have to figure out on my own. But everything that you're talking about is what I'm doing. I've changed my diet, almost did the Walls protocol, but I can't give up chocolate and ice cream. I am just doing all of that. I'm exercising every day, and physical therapy. I have a question to ask you. At the beginning of the session, did you say that you said somebody has a bad back?
Yeah, I was just feeling a real tightness, that somebody has a tight back.
Okay, I kid you not. I was just in Kessler last week. I had a relapse. One of the lesions was pressing on, in the thoracic spine was pressing on a nerve and causing things. But at the same time, I'm dealing with a bad back for the past 20 years. So I'm dealing with a bad back, and it looks like I'm going to have to face surgery. When you said that, I'm like, she didn't say that. I know she didn't say that, but she said that, and you did say that. Yeah, I'm getting out of the relapse right now, and I was in Kessler for a week, and I'm home, and I just rode the bike like 15 minutes tonight, and I'm just sitting there right when you said that. I was like, oh, my back really hurts, and you said that. So, yeah, that's what's going on with me, but you are so spot on in regards to everything that I would like to talk to you after this telephone conference call just to learn more from you because you're so inspirational. You are just so incredibly inspirational. I appreciate it.
Good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And, it's just really, I went through this whole healing process for 4 years, and I went through it in total depth. I went in through it, excuse me, my tongue is getting in my way.
I know, it's okay.
I went through it so deeply, and this is what I've been guided to tell everybody because I went through it for a reason, and that was to tell everybody else how to heal MS or anything else, or your back, and I can talk to you about your back. And I'm going to say your back is hurting you for a reason. That's the way it talks to you is, unfortunately, to make you uncomfortable, whether it's MS symptoms or back, anything that hurts or gets your attention. Your body is getting your attention for a reason, and I teach people how to connect to that symptom so they can hear what the symptom is telling them, why it's there, and what it needs for them to do to heal it. And I did this probably thousands of times over the 4-year process of healing my own stuff because I had stuff from my past, an abusive family, and all the stuff that I needed to heal within myself, and it was just my body trying to get me to, and this is true for everybody, it's not just me, it's how your body wants you to be everything you can be, everything you're meant to be. We're all here for a purpose. And when I say your body, I mean your whole being, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, energetic layers. It's everything. And it wants you to be all that you can be, and this gunk that we pick up over a lifetime blocks that stuff, blocks you from being your brilliant self, blocks you from being this beautiful being that God wants you to be. And it seems like kind of a paradigm that you have to go through this illness, but it's like a cleansing, like a honing of the sword, and you have to go through this process to get rid of the stuff that blocks your beauty and your brilliance in order to be everything you can be. So this healing process was a huge, incredibly beautiful, wonderful process in order to make me everything I was supposed to be. Not that I'm everything I'm supposed to be yet, but I'm on my way.
Stop it.
But everybody is. Everybody's trying to get there,
Absolutely.
whether they're conscious of it or not. And the illness is
Christine,
what brings it up. Yes?
Christine, this is Trish. Thought this might be an opportune time for you to tell us about your specials you've got for the fall season. You've got a special on your deep energetic healing sessions, which are normally $85.
Yes, the deep energetic healing sessions are the deepest form of healing that I provide, and those are very deep, and they take you to a very deep place. We have to get to the core reason of why you have the MS or anything, or your back,
And
or any other illness.
you've got a fall special on for $65, and that's a one-on-one, right?
Right, it's a one-on-one, and it's normally $85, and it's a fall special for $65.
But you're also doing a group series, right?
Yeah, I also have group healing sessions, which are less money to help people out if they don't go as deep, because the individual sessions are the deepest, but I also am doing group healing sessions. And so I have to limit that to about 5 people so that I can have time to get to each individual person, but again, it won't be as much individual time, as much individual time as the deep energetic healing sessions.
Well, do you have any emails in regards to this that could be sent to the people who attended this conference today?
Yes.
Carla, you know what? Carla, I believe you registered for this event today, yes?
Yes, I did. Twice. Actually,
will,
twice. I'm on there twice.
Oh, there you go. So we're making sure you're on the mailing list. Yeah, you're going to get an email tomorrow.
Absolutely. That's
and
wonderful.
At the bottom of the email, we'll talk about Christine's pricing, and there'll be a link there that you can book some time with her.
That would be awesome. Unfortunately, now I have to go. I have a 14-year-old son who's a freshman in high school, and we have dinner in a crock pot waiting for us. So this was a wonderful thing. I'm so glad I was able to attend. And I look forward to the information. I also look forward to reaching out to you in another forum. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for being interactive. Okay?
So, Christine, can I ask a question?
Sure.
What kind of advice would you give to somebody who has never been connected with their body their whole life, other than feeling like victimized by symptoms, Mm-hmm. Those that are, in total intellect mode or total physical mode, but not really listening?
Okay. So that's what the deep healing sessions do, because I can help you to shift the energy, because the shift is very important, because most likely, and since I don't know who's saying that or who the situation, but, we have a very mental-based culture, and so it's shifting the energy into a heart-based place within each one of us, because the heart gives you the really deep, true answers that you need for healing. The mind does not. The mind is of the ego and the personality and of conflict and fear and all that stuff that we're not dealing with. So once you shift, so I work with people to shift them into their hearts so that they can feel their heart and be connected to their heart. And I give them other practices to do every day. And as you do those practices, your energy just automatically starts shifting. It can't not shift if you do these practices. And then you'll just begin to experience life in a different way, and it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. Like many things don't happen overnight. They take time. But it will start shifting, and you'll start just feeling different, and you'll have a different awareness of your illness, and you'll have a different awareness of your illness in your life and how to hold it and how to be with it. And if you keep it up, which I strongly suggest that people do, keep it up, really get committed to yourself and your healing process, the shift will happen. So I give people the information that they need to make that shift into a different reality. So it's a different reality of dealing with your illness. And, it happened to me, and I was a very spiritual person, and it was a tremendous shift in my life. I'm a whole different person now than I was when I got diagnosed with MS. So, and that's why you have the MS, is to shift you. So if you're one of these people or anybody is one of these people like Trish was saying, the whole purpose, the reason that the universe has for people getting an illness like this is to shift them into a deeper place. in their life, which will affect everything, which will affect your relationships, will affect your finances. It affects everything, not just the illness.
So is this like just meditation?
Meditation is a piece of it because meditation quiets your mind and quiets the body, which is really important. And then we go a whole lot deeper than meditation. And again, it's going into your heart and connecting to God, and connecting to God in a deeper way maybe than you ever have. So it starts with meditation, so that's great, and it goes a whole lot deeper, getting to the source of why you have the illness and what your body and being wants you to do in order to heal. It's a very big deal. It's a huge, first it's a huge thing that you have MS, and then I don't mean that in a negative way. There's these, and I told this I think last month too, there's these tribes in New Guinea that when a person gets an illness like this, where here in the United States we're like, oh my gosh, this is so horrible, oh my gosh, this is awful, and you get all upset, as did I. But in New Guinea, they celebrate this illness, or any illness or injury that people get, because the person that got it gets to go on this incredible inner journey that everybody wants to go on, but they kind of don't go there unless they're forced to do it, like with an illness or an injury. And so I've got that echo back again. So it's much deeper than meditation. Is a great start, and because a person who does meditation, like I said, can quiet themselves, which is really important because the mind is going a million miles a second, and so being able to quiet yourself is very important. But there's much more to it than that, and that's why I work with people with these healing sessions.
So where are you located?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh. Well, that
and I
doesn't
do sessions over the phone. I work with people all over the world, so 95% of my healing sessions are over the phone. So if you're far away, that's fine.
Actually, what part of Colorado are you in?
I'm in Arvada, which is just outside Boulder.
Is that close to Denver? I'm actually going to Denver next week.
Arvada's between Denver and Boulder.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about 40 minutes from Denver.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to stop by and get a session one-on-one, that'd be great.
Okay. Might just do that.
Yeah, and what is your name?
Gigi.
Okay, Gigi. Yeah, give me a call and talk, work with, I don't know, Trish, how you're handling this. Would she call you first?
No, she can call you directly. Gigi, did you register for this event?
Yes, I did.
Okay, then that means we have your email address. So Christine,
Okay.
Christine, you and I can connect about that later.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to meet with you, Gigi. I'm also doing self-healing classes. So they're classes in teaching things like this. It's not the deep healing energy sessions, which is the one-on-one, but the classes teach things about how to heal, like what you just asked about, Gigi. And I'm doing like the group sessions that Carla, was it Carly or Carla?
Carla.
Carla, okay. And I'm also doing support groups. I've done support groups for 12 years now, and they're really helpful to be able to talk with other people, express how you're feeling and how you're doing, and hear how other people are doing, and you can just interact with each other, and then I'm guiding the whole thing. So that's really helpful for people. And I'm also starting a new Q&A, so you can just call me if you have a question and you only want to talk for 5 minutes, so you don't have to pay more money than what you want, and it's $1 a minute, and so you can just ask me a question if you have one, and we can talk about it. So I'm trying to provide all these services to help people really get into this healing process and not just sit on the outside of it, because it's easy to think about it and listen to me once a month, which is great. I think, I can give people a lot of information. But if you really are interested in healing, it's stepping in and making a commitment to yourself and really taking that step and signing up with me for a group healing session or a deep healing session. Again, the deep healing session is the deepest, and we really get to the core of the issue. But there's a lot of options there to support you in this healing process, because it's possible to heal. It's not incurable, like you hear. It's not incurable. And I know at least 7 other people who have healed themselves of MS, not just me. And so when you hear that, you know that it's possible, and the body does know how to heal itself, and it's constantly trying to heal any illness or injury. So our natural state is to be healthy and well and whole all the time. And if you're not, that's okay, but it's just your being trying to make you that way, trying to make you healthy and whole, and trying to bring in everything you deserve into your life and get rid of the gunk that we all pick up over a lifetime and be everything that you're meant to be. And it's a beautiful process. This healing process is just astounding. I mean, I was healing it, and when I was healing my own MS, and I would just think, oh my gosh, how like God to set it up that I have to go into this symptom that I'm wanting to run away from and take a pill for or get rid of, somehow get rid of this thing, and I have to go into it and embrace it and love it, and it opens the energy of it, and it gives me all the information that I need to heal it. It's so amazing how it works. It's just astonishing. It's like, wow, thank you, God, for this information. Like, yay, I got MS, and I get to learn all this stuff. It was just amazing.
I think it's hard for me because professionally I'm a nurse.
Uh-huh.
And so it's always been, the science, the medicine. And
Sure.
I've opened myself up to complementary therapy, massage therapy, acupuncture.
Uh-huh.
I had someone do Reiki on me once.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of hard for me just to go with it,
Yeah.
when you're I'm very strong-headed, very
Right.
Opinionated.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to, it's like I know people like you that believe in all that, and I want to believe in it. But, when you have such when your mind is so into, and I'm on so many drugs I've got really bad spasticity. And that's actually why I'm going to Denver next week to try a treatment for my spasticity.
Okay. Well, and the thing is to love, the mind, and you're saying you're really hard-headed and all that stuff. And in working with this process, we work with that. I mean, we're through it as well, but it's not fighting it. This process is not about fighting yourself. It's about loving yourself, being kind to yourself, embracing yourself on all levels and all layers at all times. So you're not fighting it. So you're not saying, okay, mind, you got to shut up, and I don't want to hear you, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, mind, right now I'm going to work in my heart, and I love you and I need you, which you do, which we all do. But right now I'm going to spend time in my heart, and if you can just take a vacation and hang out and take a break, just let it be loving. Everything you do in this healing process is loving to yourself. And your whole system will just rejoice. It'll just start rejoicing that you're not going to beat it up and not make it do something it doesn't want to do. You're just working with it, in collaboration with it. So it's
let me ask you this. How do you do that when you are in a bad relationship in a marriage where he's not supportive at all? He doesn't understand MS, and he doesn't want to understand it.
Well,
and so that's a lot of my problem right there, I know, but I'm not prepared to walk away from my marriage.
What you do is heal yourself, and when you heal yourself, your energy shifts, like I've been saying. And when your energy shifts, if you're connected to him, if you're married to him, you're connected to him. And this goes for family members and everything, everybody, everything. We're connected to everything. We're all energetic beings, and everything in the universe is made of energy, so we're all connected to everything. So if you heal yourself, and I've worked with lots of people in relationships, both with their spouses and their kids and all kinds of things, and we just focus on healing them, and as they heal in their energy shifts, it starts automatically affecting the other person, and the other person heals as they're healing, even though that's not the intention, but it just happens that way through the connection of energy. And like this, two clients I had, two mothers, and their kids had left them. Like they got in a big fight, and they hadn't seen them for years and years and years. And as they healed, and they got healed of the MS, but they had to heal everything inside them in order to heal the MS, and that's a big thing. You have to heal everything inside you on all the layers and levels in order to heal the MS. And as they healed the MS, when they healed the MS, both their families came back to them and said, oh, we're so sorry and we love you, and they were reunited, but it was because they healed themselves. So it's not about trying to heal the other person. It's just healing you, and then it automatically affects those around you. And it's so amazing to watch how it works. It's really beautiful. So it's really focusing on you and healing you and whatever it is in you that needs to heal.
I've actually witnessed that in my own life. Thank you for sharing that, Christine.
You've witnessed that in your own life?
I've witnessed that. I've witnessed where I spent a lengthy period of time, I mean years, just working on myself and doing that inner self-work, you know, and just focusing on healing and recovering myself. And while I was focusing on my healing, I stopped focusing on what wasn't working for me within my life.
Right.
And because I stopped focusing on what wasn't working and started focusing on healing myself, it was just really so amazing, Christine, that the stronger I got with the self-healing, the stronger I got, not only were the people around me treating me better, but they were growing too.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And because you're connected to their energy, they will heal as well. Or if they don't want to have anything to do with, and this isn't a mental thing, but it's like on a soul level, if their soul doesn't want to have anything to do with it or anything to do with the person, they will leave. And it won't be a big dramatic thing. They'll just kind of fall away. And it's all okay. It's like, yay. I mean, it's a good thing. And it's done in the right way. And nobody's hurt, nobody's sad. It's just, it's the way it's supposed to be. So you either get closer or not. And it's the truth. Whatever the truth is, what happens.
Funny that you should put it exactly like that, Christine, because that was, when I embarked on my journey, the statement that I made to my family was that this journey is going to bring me growth. And we, as a family, are either going to grow together or we're going to grow apart. And we have that choice.
Right.
And everyone made the healthiest choice, and we're all still together.
Yeah.
Life's even better.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Trish, was it a mental decision, or was it like a soul decision that you all made that, because you were healing, and so when you decided
to be
closer?
I don't even think it was ever a decision anybody made.
Yep.
Because it was just all of a sudden when I was maybe, I don't know, a year into the journey for myself, that I started noticing that people were acknowledging the benefits in our family life that was coming from my recovery.
Yep, that's how it works.
And it was like I no longer had to or needed to try and fix everybody.
Right.
I just focused on fixing myself.
Right.
And it was like I was leading by example. And so they started to do the same.
Right. And you actually can't heal everybody. You can't. The only person you can heal is yourself. And if you try to heal somebody else, then it doesn't work. You just have to let it go. You just have to focus on yourself. So that's a wonderful example. Thank you. And that's exactly how it works. So,
Christine?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't know if I unmuted or not. You had said that you have to connect. Okay. I totally agree with everything you have to say. I find you amazing. But what do you do when the pain is so unbearable that you can't focus on anything else?
It's unbearable for a reason. It's trying to get your attention. Has it got your
attention?
Oh,
it got it. It gets my attention, that's for sure.
And it is. And I went to...
It's daily for hours.
Yeah, I'm going to give an example. I went to a lecture in Boulder once, and it was with somebody that I knew that I went to school with, and she was teaching the whole room how to do this exercise, and I had just broken my kneecap in half and had surgery, and I was in excruciating pain. And I was sitting there, with my leg out in front of me. It's like, oh, my God, I'm not going to make it through. I'm not going to make it through. I'm in so much pain. And then all of a sudden, she was leading us into how to be in our hearts instead of our heads. And so I went into my heart as she leaded us into our heart, which I would do with you or anybody in the session. And as soon as I got into my heart, the pain dissolved away. I went, oh, my gosh, it's gone. The pain's gone. Is that because I went in my heart? And so I went in my heart, and then I went back into and I was testing it because I love to do this. I love to test things. So I went back into my head, and immediately the pain came back. Like excruciating the pain, boom, it was back. I went, whoa, okay, I'm going back into my heart. Went back into my heart, and the pain was gone. It just went away. And I went back and forth several times because I was just testing. I went, I got to remember this, to tell people this. I know that anyway, but it's kind of you got to do it yourself to remind yourself. And so it can be that simple. If you just, because in your head, when you're in your head and you're going, oh my, I'm in so much pain. When you say I'm in so much pain, you're in so much pain, for one. But when you bring any discomfort into your heart, it dissolves it away, and because it softens it and it shifts the pain. So try to do that, or I can work with you if you want to, set up a session or something, and I can teach you how to go into your heart when you're in pain like that. And also that your body's putting you in pain because it's trying to tell you something. It's trying to communicate with you. So I can teach you how to do that. You don't have to sit there in pain.
Yeah, that sounds good because I have tried everything that I could possibly think of.
Right, and it's probably taking you further into the pain because
yes.
You're thinking it, and it's not a thinking thing. None of this stuff is a thinking thing. It's a feeling thing.
And it's not giving up everything that you like to eat, and it's not doing every exercise possible and everything else I do?
Right. Say that again. Say that again.
Oh, giving up everything that you like to eat and exercise yourself to death and everything else?
Yeah. And that, again, that's something you should be listening to, having your body tell you what your body wants you to do, not what your mind is telling you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like what does your body want you to do? What is, when you go have a meal, ask your body, what does your body being, when I say your body, I mean your whole being, what does it want you to eat for that meal? And just listen.
But that's a question I had from the last conversation that you had done, is how do you know if it's you speaking or, or if it's just what you want to hear?
Do you have an example? Did you do something? Did you try a food or something?
If you sit there and you say, oh, this is okay, I mean, how do you know that it's you wanting it that bad, that you're saying, yeah, that's okay, versus you're really saying to yourself, no, that's not good?
Try it. Like I said, try it. Try a little bit of it. When you eat it and see, because your body will give you, when you step into this process and your body being knows that you're in this process, it wants to communicate with you. So just tell your body, it's like, okay, body, I don't know, I'm not sure what you're saying, if I should eat this or I should not eat this, or if I should do this or not do this, whatever it is. So I'm just going to try it and give me an answer after I try it. So do it and just try it, like the food that you were thinking to eat, and then sit with it and see how you feel. Do you feel worse or do you feel better? And it might be, constriction is no, or you might just get a bad feeling, or I used to get a darkness, and that's a no. Or if everything lightens up, like light as in your body feels lighter, or there's like a glow around you, or you just feel happier, that's a yes. Or you might get a yes or no. It might say yes or no. So just experiment with it because everybody's different how their body communicates with them. So just be courageous. It just takes courage, this whole process. And just try it. And trust yourself that you're going to get the right information. And if you don't get it once, try it again,
Thank you. I appreciate that because, like I said, I really agree with everything you say. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it is amazing, and it's not me. It's just how it works, but our culture doesn't know it. And I'm writing a book as well, which will be out soon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I want to get this information out to everybody because we're all capable of this and nobody knows about it, and we should know. So that's why I'm doing all this stuff online, too, is to just give people information because we should all know this stuff because it's all in us. We all have these abilities and we don't know it. So especially if you don't want to be taking medicine, and I'm not putting medicine down.
I don't.
It has its place, but I work with a lot of people who are taking medicine, and that's fine, medication, and a lot of people who don't want to be doing it, and they want an alternative. And so I can do either. I can, give you an alternative if you don't want to do the medicine, or if you are doing it, I can still work with you with that as well. But
terrific.
Yeah, there's so much information here, and I just so want people to step in. Just step in. It's not going to hurt, and I'm very loving and gentle and kind with the whole thing, and I'm not judgmental, and I don't push people around and try to get them to do anything that their body isn't telling them to do. It's not about me. It's about you. So if anybody is interested in doing this, but you just kind of don't know if you should do it or not, just give me a call and we can talk about it, and I can answer any questions you have, because it's just amazing information how it works, and it works for everybody. But you got to step in for it to work. You got to take that step.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah. So give me
Appreciate
a call and we'll
that.
set something up. And I have a half-hour free consultation too.
So, Christine,
great.
are you
Thank
good with, would you be willing to pass out your phone number?
Yes. My number is 303-465-9200. And my email is healing, HEALING, MS, @yahoo.com. And my website, which unfortunately just went down, that my host just took it down without my permission, but it'll be back up soon, is msalternativehealingcenter.com. And there's all kinds of information on there and videos. I have 10 videos on YouTube that give lots of information. And a lot of people have said that's helped them a lot. So there's all kinds of information.
Can you send all that information out in the email that follows this?
We will do that for
Trish?
sure.
Terrific. Appreciate that.
Trish, are you there?
Sorry, I guess I'm muted.
Can you send out all the information that I'm telling them in the email?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Terrific.
So did you hear me, Trish? It was my phone number, my email, and my website.
Absolutely. I heard you, and it'll be done.
Okay. And I'll send out all my special upcoming events in October, too, so that you know those, too. And, if you need to just, you need to, kind of stick your toe in the water and you're not quite sure, because I did this a lot when I was healing myself. It's like I didn't want to talk to anybody because it was too scary. And so just, don't force yourself to do anything, but it's kind of a, it's not about forcing yourself, because that's not a kind thing to do for yourself, but listen to yourself. And if your heart tells you, yes, I want to do this, then take a step and just call me if that's all you can do, or you can sign up for something and get going on it. So, make it easy, for yourself. Don't scare yourself. And this isn't scary at all. It's beautiful, but you don't know that because you don't know me yet. So, but it's an incredibly beautiful process, this whole healing thing. Does anyone else have questions or anything? Now's the time to ask. Or anything else you want to share? There's something else I wanted to say. What was it?
Can I also ask you, you were talking about meditation. Do you have a particular type of meditation? I know I particularly like guided.
Okay.
I do a lot of the yoga nidra. Is there anything particular that you suggest?
I have practices that are Sufi oriented. I don't know if anybody knows Sufism. It's an ancient Eastern spiritual path, very deep, very beautiful. And so I use, they're kind of like mantras, but they don't call them mantras, but just saying the word Allah, which means God in Arabic, and it has a really deep vibrational quality to it, so I just say that all the time. And it's very cleansing. It cleanses your system, your energetic system. And if I don't do it in the morning, I just have this whole series of prayers that I do in the morning, and it just makes me feel wonderful for the whole day. And if I don't do it, I don't feel so wonderful the whole day. It's like something's wrong. What is wrong here? It's like, oh, I didn't do my practices this morning. And so I give people those practices to do, and it really, really, really shifts their energy. It's a very deep spiritual path. or I always honor anybody's spiritual path. I don't try to force anything on anybody. But so if that works for you, just let yourself go with that, and I can give you other suggestions as well if you want to talk to me about it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and trust yourself. Honestly, everyone, your system knows what you need to do. And I'm just kind of opening the door for you. I'm opening the crack so that you can start to walk through it and start listening to what your body's telling you. And then I support you in that, and I give you other suggestions, and I always make sure that you feel right about it, that I'm not forcing anything on you. And just allow yourself. I mean, you have this illness, this very strong illness, and it's trying to get your attention, like we said before, and I assume it's gotten everybody's attention. And let it take you to the very deep place that it can take you if you're willing to walk with it instead of against it, which is what we're kind of taught in this culture to do. You don't hear much about walking with an illness like this. It's like cancer or AIDS or anything, or ingrown toenail. It's anything that's disturbing you or making you uncomfortable. It's just how the energy works to bring you back into balance and alignment the way you're supposed to be. And so use it. Use this illness as a way to come back to yourself and a way to brighten your life. So I think that's about it, unless anybody has anything else to say. And I'll look forward to hearing from everyone or anyone who wants to talk to me or wants to start doing something in one of my services that will help and support you for your healing process.
Well, thank you very much, Christine.
You're
It's
welcome.
been awesome as usual. You're such a talented lady. You're the energy that you put out, the total generosity of spirit that you bring to a room is totally palatable.
Good.
So
thank you.
I'm sure that everyone will agree with me. So I thank you. We look forward to having you again next month. But anybody who would, I very much encourage you to connect with Christine directly.
And, what time is it there? Like I have almost 4:30 our time. What time is it by you, where Christine is?
It's 3:22 here in Colorado.
Oh, okay. So you're an hour behind us. Okay, terrific.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Hey, Linda, let me just ask us. Linda, are you there? Linda? I was just going to ask Linda if she had anything to say. She asked a question of me when we were practicing once, and I just wanted to bring her question in. I think she'll be okay with that. And she asked me if there's an emotional side to this whole thing. And yes, absolutely. This isn't just a physical thing. It's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and energetic. So all these layers together. And that's why it takes time to heal, because you're healing all these layers. And it's not just emotional either. And you're healing all these layers together, and they're all working together to heal your system in a complete way. And if you're wanting to heal completely, like I had worked with this doctor once, and an MD doctor, and he's one of my clients, and he had MS, and he said, I'm not going to work with the medical world because it doesn't do anything for me. It's not giving me anything that will help me heal. So I worked with him, and eventually he got rid of all his symptoms in a couple of months, and all his symptoms were gone, and he said, okay, I'm going to quit. And I said, no, don't quit, because just because your physical symptoms are gone, which I know you and everybody wants to get rid of, but that doesn't mean the other layers have healed. And I said, so don't quit yet, because I can still feel the MS in your body. It's still there. You haven't healed it completely. He goes, no, I'm just going to stop now. I said, well, okay, but no, it might come back. And so it did come back. And then he went through the whole thing again. Took 6 months this time. And then he quit again, and I said, it's going to come back. And he said, I don't care. I'm just going to quit. So he quit, and it all came back again. And he quit, and it was gone completely. And then it all came back again because his body wanted to heal completely. And then it all came back again, so 3 times, and then the last time, which was recently, and he called again. He said, okay, I'm going to finish it out this time. I said, okay, I'm going to hold you to that. And he said, okay, and then he went through it again. All his symptoms were gone. And then he said, okay, I'm going to quit. I said, it's not gone yet. I can feel it in your system. It's still there because you have other things that need healing as well. And it's wonderful that your body let you heal all the symptoms before everything else was healed too, but if you don't want to come back again, just stay with me a little bit longer and let's finish this out. But he didn't. So I'm just giving that example that you have to really stick with it because it's not just the physical, although that's the layer that everyone wants to get rid of because it's so uncomfortable, but it's all the layers, and your whole being, your heart, your soul wants to heal everything and make you, like I said, as wonderful as you're supposed to be. And your life might change. You might think, oh, I've had clients heal and they don't want to go, they don't really want to heal. They won't take that very last step because they don't want to go back to work again. Well, your whole system can change because you've healed everything, so you're going to see your life in a whole different way, and it's going to be true to your heart and soul in a way that you never saw before. I never thought of being a healer ever in my life, and until I healed the MS, and then I knew, I got the message that I was supposed to send this or give this information to other people with MS. So, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay, Christine, sorry, I was on mute when you asked if I was here. This is Linda.
Okay,
and
go ahead.
I just want to say that there's so many benefits of what you're doing because, and yes, I understand the whole levels, and you have taught me so many things, and I want everybody to know that I also am on medication because I feel that that is where I need to be on my path, and so, and I want everyone to know that you don't judge me or you don't feel like you don't think that I'm bad or that I should get off them, and you don't try and give me advice about what I should be doing. You, you honor where I'm at.
Right.
Goodness, and so I just want to say thank you for that.
Okay. Do you remember what you said about the emotional stuff, Linda? Your emotional question to me?
Yes, I studied emotional clearing for 20 years or something, and I had been working very hard, and I really believe I am emotionally clear, and I am a happy person, and I still have MS. And you have taught me to look at a deeper level, to look at the different levels of the whole, the heart and the mind, and the differences in, yada yada. So anyway, so yes, it was really good.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the question that I asked you, but I know that that you had the answer.
Okay. Yeah, as I said it, I thought, no, that's not the question that she asked. So I didn't even remember it either. I thought I did. But yeah, it goes much deeper. So if you're trying to think your way through all this, it's not, like I said, it's not a thinking thing. It's a feeling thing on a very deep level. So, and the ego will try to block you from doing this work, by the way, because the ego wants to be in control of everything. The ego personality in all of us wants to be in control. So in this process, and you're going into your heart, and you're feeling all this beauty in your being that you never knew existed, and your mind or the ego will try to sabotage you, and that's okay, because I'll work with you on that too. I said, oh, that's just the ego trying to sabotage you, and you're going, okay, that's okay, I can let that go. But people get caught up in that, and they quit because they think that they believe what their ego is telling them, and that it's not working. When it's mostly working is when the ego is working against it, because it doesn't want you to go into something else like the heart rather than the mind. So we work with that as well so that we can catch it before it happens. So thanks for that, Linda. I appreciate you saying that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a very deep, beautiful process, and it's nothing that you could even imagine at this point before you're in it. So until you're in it, you can't imagine it. And it's just amazing. I was just blown away how beautiful it was and what happened to my life because of it. And the MS became the biggest gift in my life. And so it will you too. All my clients have said that. It's the biggest gift in their life because it forced, and I don't mean forced, but it made them look at things they wouldn't have looked at if they didn't have MS. So, Yep.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, thank you yet again, Christine,
Okay.
and we look forward to having you back next month. But for those who would love to touch base with Christine in the meantime, we will be sending an email out tomorrow. And in that email is also a link to a feedback survey. We would really love your feedback on Christine's talk tonight.
Oh, good.
Okay?
Yes.
So thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Yep.
And till next time, take self-care seriously, and God bless.
Okay.
Good night.
And I look forward to hearing to anyone who wants to come in. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay.